Welcome to the POMcast with Stephen Willis. Now we're going to do things a little different. We are going to provide an honest look at Ole Miss athletics for the fan, by the fan, and of the fan. That is what we do. Hell be to me. I'm just kidding. Tune in for some Ole Miss sports news. We're going to give it to you straight. Yeah, right now. The POMcast starts now. It happens now. Holy cow. Listen to me. It's starting. Well, it's going to start right about now. All right, welcome to the POMcast. Sorry about that. I had a little trouble getting the mouse to go where I wanted to go. I needed to do a cutover to cut out the mic so we wouldn't have the mix minus in there, but I couldn't get it to do what I wanted to do. We have a big show in store today. We'll talk about the game cancellation at Louisiana Tech. We have Chris Thrasher hopefully going to come in shortly. Whenever he gets in, we will talk a little bit about that. We'll talk about the NIT, what's going on in Oxford. And we'll probably hold him over the break to talk about Ole Miss sports as well through the weekend. But right now, he is not there. Let's see. I'll bring that up. No, he is not there at the moment. So as soon as he comes back, we'll do that. We have a little new bells and whistles that we want to go over on this podcast, and it's going to be a good experience, basically. I'm trying to figure out how to do this. You saw the intro with the social links. Please follow and subscribe. We are available on Twitter at the Stephen Willis, on Facebook at facebook.com/POMcast. We are on YouTube at positivelyolemiss. Please subscribe and hit the bell. You'll always know whenever we're going to stream, and you'll always be right there and be notified immediately. So you can determine whether or not you want to listen and whether you want to catch the news that's going to be coming at you hot and heavy as we grow this. This is growing up pretty big. And we are on Twitch at positivelyolemiss, all one word. Please give us a follow. We're going to update the schedule there. We're going to bring in some Rebel Walk stuff there. It's going to be a way to kind of a little synergy in between the two brands that you can easily go back and forth from. As you know, the Rebel Walk is a proud partner of the POMcast. We are glad to have them on board. All the news that you could have with Ole Miss sports, and basically our goal is to make following Ole Miss sports fun. Other outlets are doing this thing where they talk about the negative aspects of sports, like what did you lose, who is leaving, and stuff like that. But that'll make angst and anxiety come into the fold when it comes to following your team. This is designed to make following sports, and particularly Ole Miss sports, fun again. And we hope we are doing that. We're starting with doing the POMcast as a weekday show, but we also have instant reactions. We also have different shows that are going to debut with Rebel recruiting with the Rebel Walk. We don't know exactly what we're going to call it yet, but every show we're going to fill out the lineup with what we're doing. It's going to be pretty cool. So stick around for that. Be with us for the growth. Be with us for the ride. And we will have a good time. So, with that being said, I'm the host, Stephen Willis. This is an interesting week for sports. We basically play Louisiana Tech in men's basketball Friday and baseball on Tuesday. We'll do an instant reaction right after the game whenever that ends as well. So you can catch it there. And let's see, what else are we doing? The NIT basketball Friday against Louisiana Tech, 8 o'clock ESPN 2. Women's NIT Friday, Ole Miss versus Samford on Flow Hoops. Now, if you signed up for Flow Sports, I don't know about the time frame, but if you signed up for a monthly plan and already paid for it, you might have access to Flow already. It would be worth checking and using the credentials that you use to get into the baseball series. If that is an option to you, I mean, all hell, basically. Because I imagine this will be a subscription type event, just like that basketball tournament or baseball tournament, and they're trying to make money. But if you paid for that baseball tournament and it is March 16th, I do not think the baseball season started before February 19th. So you can, if you signed up for a month, even if you cancel it, you should still have access. That's my point. And let me type this in real quick and figure out exactly the date that the baseball game was played. They played on 2/20, so it'd be the first game of the women's NIT on Flow Hoops would be should be within that 1 month that you signed up for. So you should be able to catch it, and then you can decide on whether or not you want to get a month in that, whether or not it's worth doing. But that's Flow Hoops for women's NIT action. And on the men's side, they'll play on ESPN2. And the baseball team should play Tuesday night on SEC Network Plus. Now, one thing to keep in mind is Ole Miss baseball has a current schedule change due to COVID on Wednesday. They're still going to play Tuesday night. Tonight the game kicks off at 6 Central, 7 Eastern, and will be played as normal. But there will not be a game on Wednesday because of COVID concerns. Now, just speculating, I would imagine that is due to a pitcher coming down with the virus, or potentially coming down with the virus. And with contact tracing, they're doing that. Because otherwise they would have canceled both series and the program would have shut down. And everybody's familiar with that. But if you do that, if it's a pitcher or a catcher, that might make a little bit of sense because of the unknowns going into the weekend with Doug Nikhazy and his pectoral muscle, and Drew McDaniel. Will he pitch midweek? Will he pitch on the weekend? The two games would cause a little bit of strain in that category. So 6 o'clock tonight, Central, Ole Miss versus Louisiana Tech. Oh, probably not SEC Network Plus. Since that's in Conference USA, that'll probably be streamed of some kind, or ESPN Plus. If I come up with that, I'll shoot it out over my social media when I figure out what the game's on. But they're playing in the new stadium in Ruston. So we got basketball, men's basketball against Louisiana Tech. That's Friday at 8 o'clock Central, I think 9 o'clock Eastern. Before that, at 5 o'clock Central, 6 o'clock Eastern, is Ole Miss versus Samford in the women's NIT. And the baseball series, the SEC opener for baseball series, should be that weekend as well. So we got a lot of stuff going on. And it's just worth paying attention to basically everything. We don't have a lot of terrible news or anything that's to hit. I mean, leading up to this point, we were trying to get an NCAA tournament, and that was dominating everything. And spring practice is coming up, and we're still going to have our O-line prospectus today. We're still waiting on Chris Thrasher. We'll probably hit him up during the break and bring him in because we want to ask him a little bit of questions before we get to the prospectus. All right, that makes sense. Let's take a break a little bit early, and I'm going to see if I can get him on the line and get him in the system and everything that we need to do. All right, so All right, stick around. We'll be back in a few minutes.
Only 10% of us get enough daily exercise.
And that number is dropping.
Nearly 30% of us are overweight or obese. We spend 6 hours a day in front of a screen.
As a result, we now have a shorter life expectancy than our parents.
But give us the right start in sports, and we'll never stop.
Learn how at active4life.ca.
Hey, this is Stephen Willis from Positively Ole Miss. We're almost done with this break. We'll be back with good information quite soon.
The military has been in every generation of my family, and so has VA. It wasn't easy for my dad after Vietnam, but VA helped him and my mom get the home they'd always wanted. My grandpa's been coming to VA since World War II. They even helped him lay to rest one of his battle buddies from Normandy. And me, I followed in their footsteps and served with pride. And now that I'm out of the military, the GI Bill's helping me with school. Every generation of my family has served, and VA has served us all.
All right, welcome back to the POMcast, segment 2. Hope you are enjoying the show. I am here with Oxford correspondent Chris Thrasher. How you doing, Chris?
And I'm making it. How about yourself?
Man, I'm doing just peachy. We're just hanging out here, getting ready for a kind of a busy week. We got Louisiana Tech in baseball tonight. We got Louisiana Tech in basketball Friday night, and the ladies play against Sanford on Friday night, along with the start of SEC baseball. It's going to be a busy week.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Everybody's. Well, I'll say I'll just go through the kind of like what I call my mood tracker for Oxford. People are kind of disappointed with not making the tournament. And some people are trying to justify, being a number 1 seed is better than being an 11 seed. Being a number 1 seed in the NIT is better than being a number 11 seed in the tournament, which I just don't think is true. But hey, at least we're playing some basketball. The girls are playing some basketball, and it's not over. So.
Yeah, they're still going on. Basically, the men's team, they were completely train wrecked by the beginning of the season, the COVID problem that set them behind the 8 ball, and then there was no margin for error. They slipped up against Vandy, and this happened. This was the excuse that the committee needed. But it's still a good basketball team, and I expect them to go fairly far.
Yeah, no, I do too. I kind of expect them to at least go to the Final Four of the NIT, but that Vanderbilt game to me was the dagger, and we just did it to ourselves with those 2 non-conference losses, and we just kept shooting ourselves in the foot. So we can't be mad at anyone but us. So.
Yeah, indeed. We'll change gears. We're doing our prospectus by position group, and you're coming on a day where we're talking about the offensive line. So that brings the question: what are you looking forward to when it comes to spring football?
That's different. Well, I expect the offensive line to be strong. We're only losing 1 guy. We brought in some new talent. As far as that positioning group goes, man, I think we should be pretty solid.
Yeah, it should. But what overall in spring, anything that you are particularly looking forward to?
Well, just spring ball being back in general is humongous. We're gonna have a Grove Bowl. It looks like we're gonna get the Grove back this year. I think we might even get up to 100% capacity this season. But I think with spring, we didn't get any spring ball last year, and that hurt us going into the season. So I'm hoping that once.
Yeah, Chris Thrasher having internet issues there. That's fine. Remember, he's relying on cell service from the Sardis area.
I'm hoping once Lane gets his pieces together, and I think us having spring ball is going to make us a whole lot better team this season.
Yeah, I'm looking forward. It's a big spring for some people like Luke Altmaier. It's a big spring for Henry Parrish. The outside receivers have a big spring. There is a lot of pressure with roster building on these players for steps in the future. It's going to be interesting to see.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Matter of fact, I can't wait to see who comes out as the backup for Maddie.
Yeah, I'm expecting Luke Altmaier to get that nod, but Kincaid Dent can perform. He's going to be a year in the system, and he's one of those type players that could surprise in the spring.
Yeah, absolutely, and the tight ends as well. I can't wait to see who takes over Yeboah's spot.
Yeah, I think we're still waiting on a transfer in that one. Big spring, we talked yesterday. It's a big spring for Hudson Wolf. We talked about Casey Kelly. He actually tore his ACL after the Outback Bowl snowboarding. So he will not go through spring. So it's an even bigger spring for Chase Rogers, who has a chance to make an impression.
Yeah, no doubt. But like you said, I expect Hudson Wolf to be the starter coming out of spring ball. So we'll just have to see.
Yeah, unless there is some kind of big transfer that comes in, he has the potential and the tools to be that guy, even if it is true freshman year one in SEC football.
Yeah, absolutely. But we're no strangers to playing true freshmen.
Yeah. And talking about the offensive line, switching gears again to the offensive line, this is a team that ran the zone scheme under Rich Rod to perfection. They were drilled for a year. They ran the ball over and over again. So it should be no surprise that Lane Kiffin, who runs a similar run offense to Rich Rod, believe it or not, that the transition has been fairly seamless.
Oh, no doubt. Those guys can pass, and what guys can do when we give him at least 3 seconds. He had trouble making decisions when he's under pressure, but I look for this offensive line to sit back there and protect those guys and just keep going like they've always been doing.
Yeah, and with the receivers on the outside, I've talked about this over and over when we get into the fall. Braylon Brown could have been a 5-star. He could be a Laquan Treadwell type wide receiver for Ole Miss. His downfall was the fact that he couldn't do camps and things over and over to get the rankings bump that players normally get. He's a very special player. And he's very, very much worth a watch, him and Brandon Buckhalter. And so with those guys coming in, Jonathan Mingo and Dontario Drummond definitely need to have their P's and Q's in order come spring, because they need to have a substantial lead going into fall camp.
Oh, no doubt, especially Mingo.
Well, like I said, internet sardis. He's on a cell phone. He'll be back in just a second.
Especially my guy coming in last year that I thought was going to be the breakout player, and he just wasn't. To me, he has underperformed, and I think this is his put up or shut up season right here, in my humble opinion.
Yeah, it absolutely is. And we're going to get back to doing Chris on Tuesdays and Thursdays. This week, Friday, there will be no POMcast. I am getting my first round of vaccinations, but I have to go to Tampa to get it. So we'll also have to take a Friday off 3 weeks from now. So that's that. What else is going on with you, Chris? Anything you want to talk about?
Oh man, I'm excited about spring in general, man. With everything going on with the football program and us just being on the up and up. I tell you, who's got their hands full is Darby, man. I've been looking at these recruiting rankings, and just about every top 100 player, they're starting to drop their top 8s, their top 10s, and Ole Miss is right there with the rest of them. So that's what I'm most excited about, man. I know Darby's got his hands full.
Yeah, he's got his hands full, and he's following it like he would. Darby will be on in a couple weeks. He had some personal issues he had to deal with. But when he comes back, we also have, I think, Leanne Herring from the Rebel Walk. So we have the ability, we have the ability to build a recruiting show with both angles if we need to of recruiting and provide different perspectives. And our partnership with the Rebel Walk is going to be really cool eventually. And right now, we're just doing instant reactions and things like that. But it's going to flower into actual shows, and it's going to be really cool.
Oh man, it sounds exciting, man. Congratulations on that too, by the way.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you very much. Those guys provide free content at an extremely high level, and this is going to give them another avenue, basically, to get that exposure that they want. But Leanne does recruiting. We've done Trevor for basketball. We've done Jake for baseball. One of these days, we're going to get Evie on the program. But as it stands, this has a chance to be a channel that you can subscribe to that is an Ole Miss channel, that there's always new content. It's just not stagnant.
Yeah, absolutely. I follow most of those guys on. Actually reached out to Leanne on Twitter, and then she's all man, good advice, and I can't wait to work with her.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun, and we're going to try and commingle some staff, because at the Positively Ole Miss side, we have Chris and we have Darby and we have me, and that's basically it. But the Rebel Walk, it seems like they have 25 people over there. So the talent level and the talent that we have at our disposal will go up immensely. And we, as you can see all the way at the Rebel Walk now, every POMcast or every Positively Ole Miss video is on that site throughout our whole catalog. It's pretty cool.
No, it's super exciting, man. The fans should be excited.
Again, Sardis, Mississippi internet, living out in the sticks.
Yeah, no, like I said, I'm super excited. The fans should be excited. And I wish we had this years ago, man. This is awesome.
Yeah. And when are you relocating?
Next week. Should be next Tuesday.
Next Tuesday. Okay, so we might have to take next Tuesday off from our normal hit. But the internet should be in place and good to go. Right now he's basically Sardis in the Woods internet trying to do this. So that's that.
Hopefully next Tuesday won't be no more drops.
Yeah, they'll no longer have to pump sunshine to his house.
Exactly.
Anyway, Chris Thrasher, thank you very much. I'm going to give everybody a little bit of time back today. But thank you very much for tuning in, and I will see you tomorrow.
Howdy.